Three, two, one, go. Hello, this is W.M. Siegel, and I'm here today to talk to you about how stupid Mars is and why go there. You know, I get it as far as curiosity, exploration, but then you have to say to yourself, all right, when's the right time to go? Is it now? And what are your motivations? Are they really exploration? I don't think so. I think for the astronaut that might sign up for that one-way mission, it is. But the money behind it is looking for money. And the people behind that money are looking for power. It's so whack that you would talk about Mars as, and they'll talk about it in different forms. Mineral rich, we gotta find out what's there, if it can help us here. Then the conversation goes to, well, Earth's a lost cause. We're gonna eventually have to be on Mars, so let's start. What kind of loser gives up on a planet teeming with life? That is the type of person who made a mistake on the project, knows that it's going to end the project, and then tells everyone else on their team, I got a new idea. This one, believe me, I promise it's not going to work. They never have to admit that it's their own failing that put us there. Every dollar that we spend trying to get anywhere out there is so insulting to people trying to feed themselves, buy glasses, go to the dentist, stuff that you need to stay alive. When people don't feel good, they don't do good things. And a lot of the bad things we do aren't good for the earth. So this idea of Mars is really just a admittance that you have given up on Earth. You have no faith in what has been done here for the last 4 billion years of life. You just have no faith in it, no curiosity about it. Why not learn all the mechanisms of this spaceship? We're only now learning about superstructures that occur in the atmosphere during certain electrical, availability, environment. And these structures, they take a predictable shape. They make these X's across the atmosphere. What is that? Well, we find out that it can disrupt GPS. It can disrupt radio. Hundreds of years of ship disappearances. Well, we could now... What was the environment that day? Was it the same place? Do these superstructures happen over the Bermuda Triangle often? And was that just happen to be a common shipping route? There's explanations for everything. So if we can find these massive, I say structures, it's not like but it's all just particles coming together. What is mass? We're still discovering these things. There's no reason to leave. It's insane. And if it were free, I don't care. Do whatever you want. But it's not free. All of this expense, people dying, you blowing up mountains to get lithium to put into all of this takes its toll on the earth for financial gain. What have we done with space travel? Nothing. We haven't done anything. Oh, wait, no. Space tourism. all that so that people could float in the atmosphere for a couple minutes. Where the heck's that money go? It just goes to the company. It's bad news, people. Every space tourist, man, you got rot in your soul. I don't know what is wrong with you. Give that money away, you jackass. You're awful. We went to the moon and then stopped going. It's the closest celestial body. That's the one you can make an argument for. We can get there if we have to. Why there's an International Space Station orbiting Earth and not one also orbiting Mars? I mean, or orbiting the moon. And a small base on the moon is insane. And it shows that there was never any cohesion about our voyages into space. It was never about just exploration, science, the human spirit. You can't monetize any of that stuff. And there's nothing to... Weightlessness? Oh, what's it do to this earthworm? Oh, it doesn't work. No shit, man. You're in space. It's just, you could be the richest man in the world, and you couldn't convince me that you have noble intentions. You could pay for it yourself. But you're just killing other people. You're a murderer. You're sending other people to die because you've given up on Earth. You've created businesses. You're taking resource away from human beings to kill people. For what? Because you're scared. You're full of fear. You're a little boy. And you're afraid to fix the problems on Earth. Because it means you have to talk to other men. Tell them to stop doing what they're doing. But you can't do that. Because you're not a man. You know? Like all space people, they're all just little rich turds. You know? I forget the guy's name, but he was a big real estate developer. The entire purpose of his real estate empire was because he wanted to go to space. And he still works with NASA. He's been working on habitats, you know. Cool, man. Nothing he's made has ever been to space. None of it works. It didn't work, man. All that money. Who'd you help? No one. Not a single person. Not even Bezos. We find out he was always a space boy, apparently. I think he started Amazon so that he could go to space, is his narrative now. Fucking loser. You're a loser. You're a little boy. Full of fear. False pride. You belong on Earth. We are your judges. We are your peers. And you can't run away to another planet. It doesn't work that way. There's nothing to go to. It's a cautionary tale. Mars is what will happen to us if we ignore the atmosphere, the electromagnetic field, and just, I don't know, every other living creature on this planet. You know, I've yet to mention that part. It's easy to say, well, I give up on humanity. They do bad things. What did a tarsier ever do to you? Or a sugar glider? Or a zebu? Or a whale? What are these things doing to you? Nothing. And you're going to abandon them. And if we leave Earth, you think Earth's just going to live off on its own? What happens to all the waste that we collect and keep in one place, and then it gets bad and we collect it and put it back? Every human infrastructure fails, and slow time releases poison into the earth until everything's gone. We have to start cleaning this stuff up now. If you think that the sun is setting on the human species, let it set here. Not in some grasp at another planet, killing and abandoning this one as you go. Those are all actions motivated by fear, not love, not seeking truth, not even science. Dumb. There is science to be done here. A lot. You know, we have people in charge of health departments that look like they're one drink away from a stroke. You know, we got enough going on here. We do not need any manned missions anywhere beyond the moon. We just don't. It's stupid. It's heartless. And you're dumping rice into the toilet in front of hungry children when you do that shit. And I'm sick of it. It's so stupid. Smarten up, folks. Doing a lot of dumb stuff. We live on a spaceship. It's beautiful. It's full of beautiful things. Don't be so afraid of embracing that, being responsible for it, and taking care of it. There ain't nothing in space. Nothing. And only losers pay to go there. You know. One thing I could plug here is something I learned recently, and I never knew what it was. It's an international distress signal that you can give if someone is in harm. You know, and you put your hand up, and then it would be the thumb under the hand. Everybody can see that. Now, if someone is in a situation, maybe they answer the door, man with a gun, you know, pointed at them, and they can't speak, I need help. This is something that I was amazed when I found out about it. I was like, how is this? I believe it was a Canadian minister. She came up with it, and perhaps it was originally for domestic abuse situations, but any vulnerable human, you know, you're kidnapped. What if you're in a country where if there's immigration concerns, you know, if you're a vulnerable person, if you're any person, every person should know this, you know, and if you're a vulnerable person, know it. And then if you're not vulnerable, I pray you know it, because they need you to know it. That's why they're doing it. They need your help. I think it's a beautiful thing. This is the only thing I can think of that is cross-cultural. I don't know. I mean, you can't even do this, right? Or because it's that, or, you know, different things like that. But anywhere in the world, as long as people know about it, that's what this means. I need help now, you know? So remember this. Tell it to every vulnerable person in your life. And I'm not saying that the following are vulnerable, but for me personally, make sure that every woman in your life knows that, every child, any friends you might have in the neighborhood that are from another place. People are bad, you know? So make sure they know if someone's being bad to them, they do this, and we'll know. So I think that's a good thing. It was neat, you know. Terrible that we have to have things like this, but thumb over the palm and down, okay? So spread the word. That's important, you know, that we all are aware of these things. Yeah, that's why it exists. I could think of a lot of situations where, what if they were doing that and the other person didn't know? God, it's heartbreaking. You can't put yourself in that. Ugh, terrifying. So, I want everyone in the world to know that that's what this means. And if you see someone do that, kick down the door. Just start punching and get that person out of there. All right, gang. Peace.